Hi everybody, this video is sponsored by a contribution from Brittany, and this is what she wants you to know. Ollie, you've done a story for me about 2 years ago. I believe the title of the video was Narcs Put You on Trial for Life, one of my more popular videos, one I reference a lot actually. Your video helped validate my feelings and has pushed me forward in my recovery process. Since we last spoke, I became a mom, and I now have a beautiful 14-month-old son who brings me lots of laughter. I am struggling, however, trying to get over the fear of being a bad mom. I didn't ever want my kids because I didn't ever want kids because of this fear. However, when I found out I was pregnant in 2014, I did decide to go forward with the pregnancy. Now I find myself thinking I'm a terrible monster. Sometimes the thoughts bring me to full-blown panic attacks. The very first night I brought him home, I was shaking, crying, and screaming, telling his father, my fiance, that I couldn't handle it and I wasn't cut out for this. My fiance, Jeff, is well aware of my struggles and the abuse that my family has out put me through. Thankfully, he has been for the most part, very helpful. I find myself needing a lot of alone time. And while I love him with all my being, some days I wish he could just go to his godparents' house for a while so I could be alone and so I can be myself again. I struggle with this a lot. I can't tell if this is normal parental behavior or if it's stemming from my abuse. My mother, when she had one of her blow-ups, would just ignore my sister and I for weeks, leaving us to fend for ourselves. My earliest memory of this was when I was 6. My sister would have been 4. I never ever want to make my son feel the way I felt. I'm in tears now just thinking about it. To make things harder, 7 months ago, while I was in a heated argument with my fiance, my fiance told me I was a bad mother. I was shattered. And while he swears he said it out of anger and has actively been working towards building our relationship since, I'm very hurt by this comment. I guess my question to you is this: how do I know I'm not following in my parents' footsteps? How do I know I'm not hurting my son emotionally? Can I take steps to make sure I raise a healthy child in all aspects? Should I tell him about my child? Should I tell him about my child at his grandparents when he's old enough? How do I accept that I'm going to make mistakes without it eating me away? I know this is a lot, but I appreciate everything. Thank you again so very much. Your channel means a lot to me. Please take care. Okay. Let me address these things. Because you were abused and basically put on trial your whole life, okay? Look, couples fight, especially when there's a newborn and things are said. He said something to you once, months ago, out of anger. You got to let the comment go. Everybody says things out of anger that they generally don't mean. So I think you're hung up on this because of the abuse you had suffered. Now, as far as how do you know you're not following in your parents' footsteps, the fact that you wrote me this tells me you're not following in your parents' footsteps. Narcissists don't even ask if there's a question. Narcissists don't even worry what kind of parent they're going to be. They just assume that they are the most wonderful parents who ever walked the face of the earth. All your issues here are fear-based of you becoming your parents. But the fact that you are reaching out and even asking these questions is proof positive that you are not. You have to understand that. You have to give yourself, time to heal and give yourself a break. Believe me, I had the same fears when I was becoming a father with Aaron. I had the same fears. Am I going to be like them? Am I going to be like them? Am I going to be like them? I'm nothing like them. I'm nothing like them. And I'm sure you're nothing like your parents, though because of the abuse, you have defensive tendencies that might come off as narcissistic. Narcissists don't ask the question. Narcissists don't worry about it. Narcissists don't let the fear of them being a bad parent break them down emotionally. That's what you're doing because you're a good person and you care and you don't want to be like your parents are. So that's what I would tell you there. As far as how do you know you're not hurting your son emotionally, well, he's still pretty young. I mean, unless you're name calling him, hitting him, doing things like that, I wouldn't worry about it. As long as you show love to your son and attention, he's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. And, you know, you just got to make sure, like, look, you're going to have times that you're going to get mad at your kid. You're going to snap, and you might even say bad things to your kid. But you need to, when that happens, you need to apologize, hug them, let them know you love them. You didn't mean it, that, you know, mommy had some things. And that's where maybe you can mix in your childhood and try to get them to explain, try to explain to them things that had happened, why you might be a little unsure. But you have to always reassure him that you love him, and you always have to tell him that you love him. I was never told I was loved as a child. Never heard the words. So I grew up believing I wasn't. That's important. Your actions will speak louder than your words sometimes too. So you need to be there. You need to tell him that you love him. Okay, but you need to show him that you love him by being there. And, you know, as far as you're going to need to bring them into the fold as far as the grandparents, the abuse, what happened, how it happened. You know, it's only fair to him because he's going to need an understanding if these things do arise of why they're arising. So there's just not out of the blue. And so he doesn't think that it's his fault that you're like this. Like we all think it was our fault, the reason why our parents abused us. And as far as being able to make mistakes, accepting making mistakes, man, that's something we all got to deal with, you know, as narcissist abuse survivors, because we've been on trial our whole life. So it's very hard for us to accept making a mistake because you're always worried to be beat up for it. It seems like you got a pretty good fiance. He's very understanding. Let the comment about you being a bad mother go. That's just something all parents accuse each other of in the heat of battle. That happens. You're a bad mother. You're a bad father. You're a bad wife. You're a bad husband. It's the heat of battle. You can't take it personally. And that'll hurt your relationship more if you harp on one comment he made a year ago during an argument in the heat of anger. That'll do more damage than any of this other stuff will. He understands your situation. He's been supportive of you. You got to let the comment go, and you got to take it like, look, there's a fight. Let it go. He's here. He's supporting me. You know, he's supporting me emotionally. He's supporting me with my parents. You know, we got a kid together. We're going to make it work. Stop being so hard on yourself, Brittany. Okay, believe me, I understand all of what you're saying. But the most important thing is your fear that you are going to be like your parents. And you're not. Just by the fact that you wrote this and asked the question and are so fearful of it. You ask your parents, I guarantee you they're going to say they were awesome parents. They were the best ever and all the problems are on you. That's not what's happening here. Okay? That's not what's happening here. Your issues are from your PTSD of abuse, and your issues are based on your concerns that you might be like them, but you're not like them because you're asking the question. So thank you for your question. Thank you for your contribution to the channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you everybody for watching. Any advice, please leave it in the comments section below. It'll be appreciated. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you guys know what to do with the PayPal link in the description box. I'll get it right out to you. This is Ollie Matthews. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all again real soon.